comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good evening, I think, at this point. Gotta do one more share. All right. We're done sharing. And we're back. We're back. Here we are at a new location again. It's going to be my temporary spot until I figure something out. I'll do something better with the camera, though. I'm like, oh, cool. I got to shift for my home computer, and I forgot my computer doesn't have Wi-Fi. How the hell does a computer not have Wi-Fi? Hi, Patricia. Good evening. Good evening. So yeah, that just shows us that we can make plans. That ain't gonna happen. So it is kind of frustrating though, because I have a lot of work I need to get done, and my laptop is just not conducive for it. It's not. Anyway, so guys decided to put off my work a little bit longer. I'm going to get back to podcasting next week. I'm looking forward to that. We were putting out 2 podcasts a week at one point. I'd like to get it back to at least 1 to 2 a week again. It's 8 interviews a month. It's about 12 hours of work. So not that much, considering. All right, we're getting closer to the 3-minute mark, which is where I usually like to start. That's usually the time I like to get going. So we're just going to give another 30 seconds. Do, 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 do. All right, let's go ahead and get going. Captions. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Yep, I am. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. Now I'm gonna put a bet out that when I'm close to done with this, people are gonna show up. It'll be Gary. I think it'll be Gary. Watch. I'm guessing. But somebody's gonna cut you. Watch. I don't anticipate this to be too very long. Of course, I never anticipate it. New AA versus old AA, and I did put a question mark there on purpose because it's more of a question. What new AA? There is no new AA. There's only one way to work the program. There's only one way to do it. And the instructions are quite clear. In chapter 5, it says, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. And it's true. That sentence is fact. And I know it to be fact because I'm sitting here sober. Because Patricia's sitting here with me sober. Because there's a lot of people in this world right now that are sober. And now I get it. See, it isn't a new AA. It's the people in AA. Let's remember, life was different. Life was different. Compared to now, we're fucking coddled. We're coddled. Okay? And when it comes to our disease and arresting our disease, it must have depth and weight, or it's just not going to work. It won't work. We won't have a reason. And we need that reason to get sober. Okay? Even if it means I've had enough. That's a good enough reason for me. Okay, we've had enough. Okay, so what are we saying here? I'm going to give you a good example. Newcomer comes in today's AA, right? And we're sitting in a meeting. Newcomer comes in, explains how their life is just horrible. You know how it goes, and you listen. And then the people go around and, oh, it's okay. It's okay. No. That's what's changing. Okay. You cannot be passive aggressive in AA. It won't work. You've got to learn how to be assertive. You need to learn. Okay. We're talking life and death here. I'm not going to pat somebody on the head and tell them it's okay when it's not okay. Their behavior is not okay. That's why they're here. All their best thoughts got them there. That was us too. We got to go through it, or you're not going to get the whole program. And this has been coming around, and don't get me wrong, because recovery is recovery, and if it's working for you, then I'm not going to have any argument with you. Okay? Oh, those old timers, they're mean. We're not fucking mean. We're not. We're being honest with you when nobody else would be. So why are we doing that? Because we're not being honest. You got to be honest with yourself first. Oh, ouch. We got to be honest with ourselves first, or this does not work. In fact, it's the very first thing that we must do. Oh, it could be okay. No. Hey, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you respect. But if you want me to blow smoke up your ass, you're in the wrong place. Okay? And I know that I can, sometimes my sponsees are like, what? Because I know what they're going to do next. It's simple human behavior. It really is. And if I am truly thinking of other people, then I'm going to see that. It's going to connect. But when somebody comes in and we tell them things are okay when they're not, what we're doing is we are buying into their sympathy. And there lies in the problem. There's a huge difference between empathy and sympathy. Oh, you'd be all right. That's sympathy. That means I'm buying into their bullshit. Empathy means, hi, Ingrid. I was going to text you and let you know I was going live, but I saw that you were kind of busy and I didn't want to disrupt you. So, but I'm glad you made it. Hi, honey. So empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is crying with the person over their own emotions. Empathy is me removing my own emotions, but understanding that I have felt that way before. Are you reliving trauma when you're talking with people? There you go. A lot of people don't have sponsees because they start to relive trauma, and I get that. I wasn't okay to start sponsoring people till I was about 5 years sober. I wasn't. I was not at the place to be able to emotionally remove things so that I could actually help the person. Okay. And that had to do with my PTSD and my anxiety, things like that. But I was honest with myself the whole time. And it doesn't mean that I didn't help people. I've been doing this for 4 years. And there's always ways, and it doesn't need to be, not everything is set in stone. Okay. I haven't had a sponsor for 2 years now. And I'm not bragging. I actually kind of missed that. I have 4 sponsees, and then I have 4 accountability buddies. I used to have 5. Do I need to add another one on? And these are different people in my life that understand different areas of my life. Like my therapist understands more than just my emotional and things going on. She understands what I actually do. I'd say for a living, but I don't make any money off of it right now. So what I do to fill out my time, I guess, is. So I am hearing this, well, old AA, which implies a new AA, and there is no new AA. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. It is played out. It is written very plainly and very simply, and we don't need to make any more of it. Yeah, sometimes we yell and scream. You bet. Sometimes we need to yell and scream. Listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Right? And when I say yelling and screaming, I'm talking passion, not anger. Not anger. Oh, I hate this disease. I don't. I love this disease. Yeah. Because I have such a fantastic relationship with God. I wouldn't want it any other way now. I wouldn't. Okay? But I had to swallow and digest some pretty big chunks. Okay? I'm more of a kid, actually two of my sponsees are under 30. I don't treat them any different. I don't. Nope. I'm still a hard ass. Okay? When it comes to AA and the big book, I'm very serious about it. I'm very serious. Because it's a matter of life and death. And my job is to give them all the information. All of it. My sponsee today was saying, isn't it neat that they kind of tell you and prepare you for what they're getting ready to talk about next in the big book? There's no surprises in there. There's no surprises in there. There's no tricks. Nobody's tricking you. No. What we're doing is trying to show you by example what we do. And when I was talking to my sponsee earlier, he said, I've really been opening up a little bit more in meetings lately. And he's had a couple of people approach him and say that it was, they approached him and said, your topic wasn't really about drinking. We don't talk about drinking. We talk about recovery. All right? I know what happened. He said something that disturbed that man. Good for him. Sometimes we need to stir the shit to get other people thinking. That's what I do here. Okay? And there's a lot of people that don't like me because I do it that way. But I'm not here for friendship. Well, yeah, I am. I'm here for fellowship. I enjoy my friendships. And I'm understanding. It's taken me a little bit to understand how these relationships work. I haven't had a host of friends before. I don't know what it's like. I've had a lot of fair weather friends. I've had a lot of acquaintances. I know a shit ton of people, but they ain't calling my phone asking me how I'm doing. Very rarely that somebody calls me and says, hey, I was thinking about you. And that's not life. Maybe it is for other people. I don't know. So even then, they used to be even meaner. So it used to be the only requirement for membership is an honest desire to stop drinking. 90% of us wouldn't have been able to make that qualification. I wouldn't. Because I honestly didn't know. That was probably the first honest thing I said. Nah, I don't know. So like I was explaining to my sponsee earlier, that for us, I'm only like 2 generations removed from Bill W. and the original 100, right? So are you. Actually, Patricia's closer than we are. I think she's got a little bit more time than the rest of us here. Seems like it. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever asked you how much time you have, which is not surprising coming from me. And you don't need to answer that, Patricia. I was just using you as an example because you were here. So, and we talk about that a lot. The time really doesn't matter, right? But if you look at it, it's not that far removed. So what are we dealing with here? We are dealing with generational stuff. That's what we're talking about. Okay. If you have a hard time taking constructive criticism, you're not going to make it. Okay. And a lot of the things and the ways that we were taught, okay, I understand that there's a need for things. I get it. I'm a man with mental health issues. Okay. I'm a man that likes to share his feelings. There's a lot of people that run away when I'm like, I'm Dion and I have feelings. There you go. Because we're not allowed to have them. Oh, that means it's just going to be anger and, yeah. See, as God's child, I stand on my own 2 feet. I'm not going to fucking bow to anyone. I will help you if you're helping yourself. If you're not helping yourself, I'm moving along. I'm moving along. So the question is that the question isn't new AA versus old AA. The question is, what kind of sobriety do you want? Do you want the full picture? Then follow the path thoroughly. And, I have some time that's freeing up, and I'm highly considering. But people got to show up. If they don't show up, I ain't fucking doing it. Sorry, I'm not meaning to say it that way. Sorry. Sometimes I have to watch how I say things. But I'm gonna want to start another big book study. Thinking I'd like to do Saturday at noon, but that cuts into something. So I'm going to think on it for a little bit, but I think it's time we get into a big book study. I get very, very thorough. Let me put it this way. I've been the sponsee I was talking to today. He's coming up on, he's closer to a year and a half than he is not. Okay. And we're on the 9th step. There were some interruptions. Life happens, things like that. Okay, but that doesn't mean he hasn't moved along. Actually, his program is fantastic. I think he has a great program because it looks like mine. I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. All right, that's enough of this. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for being here. Thank you. There is no new AA. Okay. And for those of you that have come to me lately and said, because I've had some friends that have been like, hey, this, and I found this old kind of old sobriety, which is tougher, man. Okay. But there's more love. There's more unconditional love. Okay. A lot of sponsors I see now, I see sponsors getting jealous about their sponsees. If that's the case, you need to move on. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. I love you all. Peace out. And have a great day.